Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the May meeting of the Sunflower Technology Club. It's good to see you all here. We're a tiny bit late because we had to deal with some technology, of course. My name is Kata Mapes. I'm the president of the Tech Club until May 31st. I've been doing this about 5 years, and we're going to have an election today. And we have Jerry Ashmore over there. Jerry, he is our vice president, and Kay Wire is our secretary, and Kay Walter has been our treasurer for a couple of years now, and her position is also up for election. So today our agenda, we're going to have someone who'd like to talk to you about a volunteer opportunity. We will have our tech talk about artificial intelligence, and after that, we'll have the election. So it's real important that you stay for that. Okay, Allison, would you like to come up and tell us all about what you have, what you'd like to talk about? It's also important for the recording that you talk on the mic.
All right. So I won't run, so I'll just do my thing. All right. Anyway, so my name is Allison North, and I'm a resident and a member of the Tech Club, and I also volunteer with TaxAid. And TaxAid is a program run by AARP, which delivers free of charge tax preparation services to seniors and low-income people in the neighborhood at the library. We are tax people. We love taxes, but we are not tech people. In my group, I am probably on the younger side of all of our volunteers, and our new head honcho is 84 years old. Wonderful guy, but we are not tech bros. And what I'm looking here for a volunteer, but before you scrunch up your face and say, ugh, taxes, this person doesn't have to know anything at all about taxes. We have a very secure internal system for all of our work, and we're looking for somebody to help us keep the tech up and running. That's hardware and software. So if you can think of anybody who is interested in giving back to their community one day a week, just being an on-call tech helper, you know, you can get a hold of me. I'm in the book, or Linda knows where to find me. Jan knows where to find me. So if you know of anybody, and it could even be a snowbird, because we don't really get going until November, and we run until mid-April. So think about it and let one of us know if you think you either could do it yourself or you know somebody. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So just offhand, is there anyone here who thinks maybe you'd be able to do this? What kind of technology is it?
We don't use the Wi-Fi from the library. We have our own router, our own printer, all of our computers are Chromebooks dedicated to just this use. And so the idea is to keep the hardware running and the software, keep us all linked with, for example, IRS and Arizona Department of Revenue for the file. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, next, I'm going to turn this over to Tim Walter. He is one of our directors, along with Larry.
Kay and I are going to introduce the speaker, but before that, I just think we want to send a very big thank you to Kata for 5 years of service running this organization.
Thank you.
And the best thing is I can now get rid of that title of former past president, or current former past president. When I took the presidency, 8 years ago, I didn't know who to get to speak. So I called my favorite millennial. I said, will you come speak to us? And he did. It was on voice activated Alexa, Siri at the time, taught us a lot. He is our broker, full disclosure. In other words, our boss. And he's great resource and tech for us. At that meeting, I said my favorite tool for tech was to find a millennial, which was Patrick. And I think he's starting to find Gen Xers. But anyway, go ahead, Kate.
We just really appreciate that he came out today and he's going to talk about AI. Thank you. He is the broker of Diamondback Real Estate.
Testing. Testing, maybe. Test, 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 test. Is that good? All right. All right, so like I said, I'm Patrick. I'm a Continental Ranch resident as well. And I don't work in tech, but I do love to play with tech. So I'm here to kind of tell you what I know and answer any question you guys might have about AI. I do have a PowerPoint presentation I'm going to share with you. And the tech can sometimes be a little over daunting and boring, so I tried to add some little pizzazz in there and some humor just to keep your eyes open today. Question? Oh, Chamberlin. Yes. Patrick Chamberlin, yes. We're good? All right. So welcome to the AI age. Before this, we had the internet age. And previous ages before there, every age seems to advance us even farther into the future. And each one gets us there even faster than before. Who knows what movie this is from? Just trying to gauge my audience here. Will Smith, I, Robot. All right. So. All right. So I can just mention technology is growing not at a linear pace, but at an exponential. So if you go back to the year of 2006, 20 years ago, 1 year of change back then is now happening just 3 months. If we go way back, not too way back, but 1976, a year of change in 1976 now happens in 11 days. Who was alive in 1976? All right. So you can just imagine the changes that you saw happen in the 70s, and in 2 weeks, that entire year is going to advance us. So because things are going so fast, it's not uncommon to feel confused or outdated with all the technology. Even if you take a year off and don't learn anything new, and the 70s standards, now you're 30 years behind. But the good news is technology can also help you stay up to date if you use it to teach you what it can do. And so that's part of my plan here today, is to kind of show you the entry level knowledge about AI and how to protect you from AI scams out there, which is unfortunately a commonplace in our world today. So question, who used AI today? I know it's early, it's 10 a.m. About half the room. I am willing to say that many of you have used AI today without even knowing that you've used AI. It has implemented itself into our daily life way before we even learned what AI is. Just to give you an idea how I have used AI in the past week, I am in the middle of a move, and I had to move my fridge out of my house, but it did not fit through the doorway. I am not an appliance person. I'm not an electrician. I had to take the doors off, but there's wires and plumbing and screws, and I had no idea what I was doing. I asked AI to say, hey, how do I do this? I sent a picture of the model number, and it walked me through it step by step, made it out, and only made a few dents in my drywall. At my new house, I'm installing a Ring doorbell. Who was a Ring doorbell? That's AI. But it asked me a question during the install: is your doorbell transformer compatible with the Ring doorbell? I'm over here like, what is a transformer or a doorbell? AI walked me through it and told me, no, it's not compatible. So now I have to learn how to install one. One of my favorite things to do is I have a 4-year-old daughter, and every night, it's not every night, some nights she wants AI to tell it a story. And so she'll ramble on and on, recording her voice into AI saying, I want a story about unicorns and reindeers and snowball fights and Spider-Man and this and this. And she rambles for like 3 minutes what the story wants to be. AI takes all that information and turns it into a story and narrates it for her. So if you have any granddaughters out there or grandkids, this is a great tool you can do with them and impress them and become their favorite. I use it to create an AI PowerPoint. Oh, how'd that get on there? I use it to rewrite an email. I'm sure many of you have Gmail, and you've noticed that AI is now integrated into Gmail. It likes to correct not only your spelling and your grammar, but tells you how it thinks that you should write this email, whether you want to or not. I tend not to listen to its suggestions, as it doesn't sound like who I am, but eventually it will learn who I am. As I said, I just bought a new house. It needs some paint. I don't know what color I should paint it, so I took a picture of the outside. I said, hey, here's the colors the HOA allows. Show me what my house would look like in each one of these colors. And so it generated an image for each color and said, hey, that one looks pretty good. I wouldn't have chose it if I didn't see that. So I have it as a personal trainer. I'm training to run a 5K, and I'm terribly out of shape, and it's making a plan for me step by step to get there. So whether you want to run a 5K or just keep your health up, it can generate plans for you based on your skill levels. I have a smartwatch alarm. Who has a smartwatch? All right, that's AI as well. I have a business board of advisors for Diamondback Real Estate. I said, hey, I need a lawyer. I need some marketing. I need just different people. And I took prominent people in names like Mark Cuban is my CEO on my AI. So I ask it questions and I run it by them. And I have a real estate assistant who I bounce ideas off of, and they help me create marketing campaigns. So there's a lot of, what I'm trying to show you here is that there's a lot of different ways to use AI, and it can, if you use correctly, it can help your life make it easier. It's all around us, whether we like it or not. It's not going away. We can bury our heads in the sand and just ignore it, or we can use it and adapt to it. Weather apps, they use AI to predict the weather. Email spam filters, and autocorrect and predictive text. I started with these three because these are notoriously inaccurate, and hoping that AI can actually accurately predict the weather. Who used Google or Apple Maps recently? When it tells you which route you should go, or when it gives you an estimated arrival time, or it says, hey, you're going to save gas if you go this route, that's all using AI. Who has lane assist and adaptive cruise control on their cars? That is also an AI feature. Netflix recommendations. It knows what other people have watched that have also watched what you watched and says they liked it, you'll probably like it too. Fraud alerts. Banks use this to determine any fraudulent activity on your bank accounts. Siri or Alexa's, they all use AI. Voice to text. Who uses voice to text? It uses AI to transcribe what you're saying and put it into text. smartwatches, smart thermostats, video doorbells. So what I'm trying to say is that AI, again, is all around us. Those are just a few examples of what it is. So if all those things are AI and it seems like everything is using it, what exactly is artificial intelligence? I like to start off with telling you what it is not. It is not magic. It is not all-knowing, so it is not always correct. It doesn't know everything, so just because you saw it somewhere doesn't mean that it's true. It's not conscious or self-aware. It's not independent from humans. It is based on systems created by humans, and it cannot function on its own. It is not your replacement. And most importantly, it's not Skynet. Terminator reference? No? No Terminator fans? Man, all right. So what is it? It's a software designed to learn patterns from massive amounts of information and then uses that information to find patterns, to answer questions, create content, and make predictions. That is all it is doing with anything that is AI. So for an example, your lane assist or your adaptive cruise control. It's taking all the information and all the sensors are giving. It's looking at the cars around you, the distance between you and the cars. It is looking at the speed that you're going, the type of car that you have, how fast you can brake, and all this stuff. And it's finding the patterns to figure out what is a safe distance that you should be from the car ahead of you. One of my favorite quotes, Charlie Munger of Berkshire Hathaway goes, "I'm all for AI. There's a shortage of the real thing." So now we know what artificial intelligence is. How does it work? So first, AI is shown in enormous amounts of information. It looks at every book that's publicly available, articles, images, videos, websites, social media posts. So basically anything that is publicly available on the internet, AI can reference it in microseconds. Think of a Google search on steroids. You used to go to Google, type in a search, and then it would give you websites. And then you would have to go through those websites to find the information that you're looking for. It now eliminates that step. You can go to Google, type in a question, and it will source through millions of websites and pull the information and say, here's the answer, and here's the source of where I got it from. So the second step is it learns patterns. For instance, there's millions of photos of cats out there. So AI will look at all the images online that are labeled cat, and it can learn what a cat looks like. And then it can predict what the most likely response is. So if you ask AI, what does a cat look like? It will show you an image of what a cat looks like based on millions of photos. Now, sometimes we just want to know what a cat looks like, but AI thinks we want to be a cat. How do we play this video?
Churchill says he's a genius.
Oh, commercial.
Dr. James Stagg, here at the request of General Eisenhower.
You're the best meteorologist, and I need a forecast. Fate of the war hinges on this.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a
trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.
So yes, filters on video is also AI. Some kids like to play with your Zoom, and then these instances happen. So yes, AI knows what a cat looks like, and yes, AI can turn you into a cat. Let's go. Can we go to the next slide? If you click off the video, it should take you to the next slide. All right. So when we hear AI, most of us, this is an assumption, most of us think of LLMs, which is a large language model. Examples of this is ChatGPT. Who's heard of ChatGPT? So it was the original AI that people can go to and ask it questions and have a user interface. Another one is Claude, Google's Gemini, and Elon Musk's Grok. Those are the four big ones. So AI, like I said, is the original. I had ChatGPT. This came out years ago. It's the Swiss Army knife of AI. It is best used for just everyday questions, brainstorming, helping you write things, learning, and just general use. And so if you have a question, just, hey, I don't know how to do this, ChatGPT is a quick and easy one to go to. Another one that you have probably heard of is Gemini. Who's heard of Gemini? All right, this is Google's AI. And so if you ever go to Google, you type in a search, first thing that pops up is now AI. Gemini has eliminated an entire marketing industry overnight. Many businesses focus on what they call SEO, which is search engine optimization. They spent millions of dollars to show up first on Google for their website. And overnight, now there's this Gemini, and all those websites don't show up on Google anymore because it just takes a snippet of what the answer is and shows you the answer. So like I said, it's connected to anything that's Google. Google searches, Google Documents, Google Maps, anything Google related is going to be powered by Gemini. This is best used for Google integration. One nice thing about this is if you have a very large document, think of your CC&Rs, you can upload that document into Gemini and it'll instantly summarize it, or you can ask questions from it. So if you say, hey, can I raise my wall to 8 feet? If it has the CC&Rs uploaded into it, it can instantly tell you the answer. It can go up to 1,500 pages. So you can almost, encyclopedias can be uploaded and you can use that as a reference. If you want to go down a huge rabbit hole on a specific topic, Gemini is a good one to go to. It can do deep research. You can also upload videos and images and analyze those videos. Claude is more of a newer one that is, as of right now, probably the best one out there, depending on what you're trying to use it. But like I said, technology is rapidly changing. And so in 2 months, it may or may not be the best one. It's best used for all you coders out there. Long text analysis and summarization. What it's really known for is its ability to write and sounds human. And so if you're trying to write blogs or you're trying to make a website or create marketing material, Claude is going to be the one for you. The last one is Grok. It's owned by Elon, and in Elon Musk fashion, it is the least professional of them and is a lot more satire, and it does what you need it to do, but if you want not so serious discussions, that is the one to go down as well. The difference with Grok is that it's primarily based for social media. It learns information live. Anything that's posted on social media, it pulls that first. And so if you're trying to get up to date on new trending topics, Grok is the one to go with. So now that you are all familiar with AI, let's have some fun with some AI real fast. I'm going to see if I can pull up ChatGPT on here. Let's see. Can I share my screen? You cannot start a screen share while other participant is sharing. I cannot share my screen with this app. All right, cool. So we can just go back to the PowerPoint and I'll do my best to do it on here. Yeah, so basically, my first thing I was gonna do is have ChatGPT answer a random trivia question. Can somebody think of random question that I would have no idea the answer to? Any question? All right. So who is the Speaker of the House in 1964? Was John W. McCormick. He served Speaker from 1962 to 1971. So that's an easy question for ChatGPT, but something that I would have no idea. And so sometimes in our lives, we are presented with things that we don't know the answer to. We're watching this movie and we're like, who is that actor? You take a picture of the screen, you can upload it and say, who is this? And it'll say, not only tell you who it is, it'll tell you that the character's name, it'll tell you what movie it is, who directed it, just all the information that you could possibly think of. Another fun thing to do is click a button. Can we go next? All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Let's see. All right. So we can plan a trip. Let's plan a trip. Where does somebody want to go? Orlando. How many days? All right. Schedule my itinerary. It can't spell for me. Let's see. Itinerary. For Orlando, Florida, for 2 weeks. What do you enjoy doing? Hiking, sightseeing, wine tasting. I guess there's probably not hiking in Florida, let's be real. The highest mountain in Florida is the Matterhorn. Beaches. Okay. Okay, so I just said schedule my itinerary for Orlando, Florida for 2 weeks, and I like to go to beaches. For 8 seconds, it thought, and now it is scheduling day 1, arrive in Orlando. Day 2, it doesn't know how old you are, Magic Kingdom. Day 3 is resort and pool day. Day 4 is Animal Kingdom. Day 5 is Cocoa Beach, about 1 hour from Orlando. Easy for family beach, has beach pier, relaxing ocean day. Epcot. 7, recovery day. Week 2, drive to Clearwater Beach. It's a 2-hour drive. Beautiful sunset walk. Clearwatch Beach day. Marine aquarium, and it just lists your entire. You can put a budget in there. You can say what your interests are. You can say what you don't like doing, and it can schedule that. The next thing is make a recipe. How many times have you guys stare at your pantry and go, man, I don't have any food in here. What am I going to eat for dinner? Happens to me all the time when my wife is out of town. So what I can do with ChatGPT is say, hey, ChatGPT, I have pasta, I have spinach, I have cream, I have this, this, and this. You can plug it into ChatGPT and go, make me a recipe out of this. It'll search all the recipes online based on the ingredients that you have in your kitchen and say, here you go, here's what you can make with your food. Whether it tastes good or not, I don't know, but it is a nice tool that you can have. And it helps you stretch that dollar too, because if you can stretch 1 or 2 more meals with the stuff you have in your pantry, you know, it's one less trip to the grocery store and less food getting waste. What is this photo? This is a fun one as well. If you're looking at something you don't know what it is, take a picture of it, upload it to ChatGPT. For some reason, people think that real estate agents we know every plant and type of tree. They go, hey, Patrick, what type of tree is this? The green one. I don't know. So now when they ask me this, I can say, oh yeah, that's I can plug into my phone and then tell them the answer. So before coming in today, I took a picture of a bush in front of sunflower. So now I'm just uploading into ChatGPT. Who knows what bush that is? It's the one out front. It's green and has orange and yellow flowers. Bird of paradise. It's a red bird of paradise, commonly called bird of Barbados, the Mexican bird of paradise, or the peacock flower. Very common in Tucson. It loves the heat. A few notes, it can get huge if not cut back yearly. This plant is looking very healthy, so good job, sunflower. And it tells you how to take care of it.
So can you also do that on Gemini?
You can do it on Gemini as well. Any of the LLMs that I mentioned before, you can upload a photo and it'll tell you information about that.
What is going on? And it told me. It says, I can't give you medical advice, but this is what I think.
Yeah, I can't give you medical advice, but I know what it is, and it's this, and this is what you should do. But I'm not a doctor. Yes. Don't sue me. I don't know if can you sue AI? Educational purposes only. A fun thing about suing AI is a lawyer, I don't know what state it was, but he went through a mock case against AI, and AI won. Because AI has access to every case law out there and can pull every single file out there that's relevant to the case. So now I'm sure lawyers are doing it with AI and not telling you and then charging you the same thing.
So do we have to make sure there's no copyright, or is that assumed? Or when you do a prompt, do you have to say, do not use copyrighted material or something like that?
Yes. So AI is getting better with copyright issues. At first, you could generate any image that you could possibly think of, and it would just do it. Now it is becoming aware of copyright laws and will prevent you from doing it. Later in the slide here, I have a real versus fake photo, and one of them, ironically, I was saying, generate a family image at Disney World, and it said, I cannot do that due to copyright laws. So yes, it's getting better at it, but just because you have an image doesn't mean it's copyright free. It still falls on you as the user for that, for knowing if it is or is not. Another fun thing that you can do is you can create a funny image using AI. So you can tell AI, let's do this one together. We can say, create an image of, what should we make an image of? Think of something crazy. A chicken on top of a saguaro cactus. What else? What else is happening in this? Trying to fly. That's fun. And then also in the snow. Let's see if it allows us smoking a pipe. All right, creating an image. We'll see. So I say create an image of a chicken on top of a saguaro cactus smoking a pipe in the snow. Something that I'm sure we all know is not a real photo, right? All right. It's probably having a really hard time finding information online of what this photo looks like. It is getting close, and there we go. Who can see that? So there you go. You got a chicken smoking a pipe, wearing cold weather clothing, standing on top of a cactus in snow. So just like that, you can create whatever your mind can think of. But that is a prime example of just because you see a picture of something does not mean that it is true. So like every tool, AI is a tool. It can be used for good, and it can be used for evil. So AI is no different. So voice cloning. This is one of the scams out there. They can, scammers can clone voices of your loved ones based on social media videos that they have posted. And so what they'll do is they'll create a fake emergency that requires you to send them money to help them save. Like, hey, I'm in a car accident, or hey, I got arrested, I need to post bail, or grandma got ran over by a reindeer, something. And that is one of the most convincing ones right now. We have fake photos online. We just created a fake photo. If they want to fake you out, they can create any photo as well. We're seeing fake investment advertising, mainly around crypto. We're seeing fake health cures, so watch out for your back muscle. Make sure it's a real fix. Fake giveaways that have you give them money to enter the giveaway, and then you don't win. They do. And then fake political ads. That's going to be one coming up here soon as we get into election season of fake ads online. Video cloning. So scammers can create videos of people and celebrities doing things and saying things that have never happened. Romance scams. They will have AI build a relationship with you, have a conversation with you. You think it is a real person, and once they get you to the point where they believe that you are good friends, they will say, hey, I need some money. And you think it's a real person that you're great friends with, and it's been AI all along. Even more scams, unfortunately, just have to go on to 2 pages. Fake customer support calls. They will use AI to generate a voice that sounds professional, and they will say they are from Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, or one of the major banks, because they know anybody and everybody has an account with one of these things. And so when you get a call as customer support, you're not caught unaware because you use this and you think that might be a real call. And then AI generated phishing emails. Do we know what phishing emails are? Emails with fake links to websites that look real to ask you to log in to capture your email, username, and passwords. So now that we know there's a whole bunch of scams out there around AI, how do we protect ourselves not to fall for them? So there is a method called the STOP method. Have you guys gone over this in any tech classes before? STOP method? Okay. So whenever you come across something that you think might be a scam, first thing you want to do is slow down. The scammers are going to create urgency to try to make you make an emotional decision. So if they're creating urgency, just take a breath and start analyzing the situation. So think, does this make logical sense? So use an example of the voice clone. Sometimes it's a daughter or a granddaughter calling you and saying, hey, I was in a car accident. If you start thinking about this, you're, wait a minute, my granddaughter's 4, she can't drive. So think logically and then observe. If it's an email, check the spelling, the links, check account names, check for anything that doesn't look correct. And then prove it. Prove it just means verify it through a trusted source. And so if you see something online that you don't think is true, go to Google or go to a website that you trust and ask it what is happening, and it'll verify if it's real. Call your granddaughter and saying, hey, were you driving mom's car? Verify. So the STOP method is what we do. Slow down, think, observe, and prove it. Another big question about AI is privacy. Is what I tell AI private? Can anybody else see what I'm telling AI? So it may or may not be private. It really depends on which platform you're using and if you have a paid plan or not. A good rule of thumb when sharing things with AI is never put anything in there that you are not comfortable sharing online. Even a secure system can be hacked and that information can be found. Another rule of thumb is if you are not comfortable having that information spoken about at a dinner at a restaurant, don't tell AI. Someone else might hear that. Someone else might see your AI search. So if you're using AI, do not share passwords, social security numbers, banking information, medical records, sensitive legal documents, or other things of that nature. Let's play a game called Real or Fake. Is this a real photo or a fake photo? Fake? Why do you think it's fake? Off? Yes. Too perfect. The coloring is off. Right? AI knows what a mountain looks like. It knows what a desert looks like. It knows what people look like. But they don't know that people usually don't float and walk in the rocks over here and not on a trail. All right, let's do it again. Real or fake photo? Real? Fake? The green is too green. That can't be a Continental Ranch Park. It's too green. Anybody else? Real or fake? This is actually a real photo. Real photo. I took this one at Windmill Park. So again, it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake. If you see an image that you don't know if it's real or fake, you can download it or copy it, put it into Google, and it'll tell you if it's a real or fake photo. Real or fake? 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 Anybody else? Real? All right, so this is a fake one. Too perfect. Look at those smiles. Unless they're models, it's just too symmetrical. The colors are too bright. This is a fake photo. The reason why I show you these is it's easy to fall for them. We can't tell. So if you fall for one, don't feel bad. We all fall for them. AI is getting really good. So that's it for the photos. We'll go to an email. So this is an email that I got yesterday. Is it real or is it not real? I don't know if we can see it. It's kind of small. So going over it, it says final closing documents attached for your review. It is from someone with a domain of Bartlean. The 2 is blank. It's asking me, has a whole bunch of links on here. It says for me to review it. And I will be your main point of contact for this file. It does not mention which file, which property. And it says that he's actually with United Wholesale Mortgage. Is it real or not real? It's fake. The few calls here is that he says he's with United Wholesale Mortgage, but the domain is not United Wholesale Mortgage. The 2 is blank. This means he's blind carbon copied this to a whole bunch of real estate agents. And then again, there's no information about the file. I don't know what file he's talking about because he doesn't know what files I have. So this is just an example of a phishing document or email that we get all the time in real estate, and I'm sure you guys get them as well for whatever emails that you guys may be getting. Scams are everywhere. Now I'm gonna play this video and you tell me if it's real or fake. This is my last slide. Can we play the video? Right?
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
That's what we call a deep fake video. So somebody can take a video. Oh, there's another example. You
It's a
can
little
pause.
embarrassing, it reminds me, I was once in Russia.
All right. So it's a deep fake video. They can video them talking and then put on overlays to change their voice so they can sound like Morgan Freeman. They can change what they look like so they look like Morgan Freeman. And so now they can make a video of somebody else doing and saying things that they did not do. There's been a lot of safety measures on a lot of the big companies that don't allow you to pretend to be somebody else. But there's also people who make their own AI platforms and they can do whatever they want to because it's their platform. I have one that makes videos for me that looks like me and sounds like me. But for me to do it, I had to videotape myself reading a specific script so that the computer knew that I was actually that person. So I could not pretend to be somebody else because that person wasn't reading that specific script. So the platform that I use for that is called HeyGen. HeyGen, it's HeyGen, like Hey Generate, heygen.com. And it just helps my business because I make a lot of content, and if I can make a clone of myself, make a video, I can make a lot more videos. So I went over a lot of information. Hopefully it didn't scare you too much. Hopefully it showed you both the good and the bad sides of AI and how to protect yourself. Does anyone have any generic questions about AI that I can help answer?
Oh, I'm curious about, sometimes when I see, it'll ask me, do you want to pay? Sometimes it's free and sometimes they say, you want more to use this? Give me some more money.
Yes.
So
We call that freemium, is that they give you a taste of it for free, but they hide their big fun stuff behind a paywall. And so like, yes, I can answer a question and I can give you one photo generation, but if you want me to make other versions of it, you have to pay us for that. So ChatGPT has a free and a paid version. Yeah, and so they'll limit the responses to you, and it's on an on-demand level. So if there's a lot of people using ChatGPT, they'll throttle you or limit what you can do because they have essentially servers that are being used for it. Massive servers that use lots of water, but that's a whole nother conversation.
So do you recommend paying for chat? Or
for most of you are going to use it for, I would not recommend paying for it. Yes, unless you are on there on the daily basis, using it to generate a lot of responses and creating a lot of content, there's no need right now to pay for it.
If you run out of the free one day, believe it or not, it will reset the next day. You can continue that project the next day and save some money that way.
Any other questions? Who's going to use AI more after today? Who's going to stay even farther away from AI today? All right. Do we all take something away from today? Don't fall for the scams. Use the stop method. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Patrick's a millennial who's teaching the boomers. Isn't that, we have the wisdom and knowledge as boomers, but not in technology. They say that some kids are born what they call digital natives. They just automatically just know how to do things. So we're going to switch gears now for the election. And as I said, there are 3 different votes that we're going to be taking today. We'll get the slide up there. in the meantime, when I have written blogs and other things, other articles, at the end I usually say this blog was a cooperation between artificial intelligence and natural intelligence, because we can't forget our natural intelligence as well. So right now, Larry's got his natural intelligence setting up the slide. So I'm going to go ahead with the first vote, and that is for treasurer. Kay Walter has been our treasurer. She keeps us on track with all of our finances, income, and so forth. She keeps our membership list and gives out the annual report every year. So that's a lot of financial information that we like. And so Kay Walters right here. Want to just raise your hand? So the first vote as members who are here will be, because there's no competition, will be basically all those in favor. Well, actually, let's make a motion. Let's make a motion to re-elect Kay Walter. Would someone like to second that? Burleson? Thank you. All those in favor of re-electing Kay Walter, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Mr. Walter. Okay, so Kay, congratulations. You are re-elected as treasurer for the club. Thank you for all your service. Now, as you know, that I'm being termed out as president. And so in order to continue, we've had several discussions and requests for people to step up to be new presidents. And fortunately, we have two people who have agreed to be co-presidents. But before I introduce them, or they can introduce themselves, I will ask us to look at the bylaws, because we had to make a couple of changes. On the table, you will see a paper that has the Article 3 of our bylaws, and the text written in red, thanks to Larry and his natural intelligence, is the changes we're proposing so that we can have 4 directors. Directors are people who are still dedicated to being involved. They can vote and they promote and help out the club. For example, right now, Larry Schreier and Tim Walter are directors. I would like to continue and be a 3rd director, and then we have an opening for another. So the bylaw changes would be to have up to 4 directors, and that any executive board position may be filled by up to 2 people serving as co-executives in that position. So I move that we vote to approve and accept these changes to the bylaws. There's a second. Larry Schreier seconds. So all those in favor of making these changes to the bylaws, raise your hand. Anyone opposed? Thank you. That is now voted that yes, we do accept these changes. And now, for the first time, I believe, in the history of the Tech Club, we are going to have co-presidents. Again, there is no competition, so we're thankful that they are willing to do this. So I'm going to ask them to come up one by one and introduce themselves. Between the 2 of them, they will take on the functions and duties of the president. They both said, well, one's still working, one is traveling. So between the 2 of them, they will cooperatively find ways to work it out. Who would like to come up first? Denny? You may already know her. This is Denny Lynn.
It's Denny Lindy Suntag, but you can leave the Suntag off. I grew up in Tucson. Did any of you grow up in Tucson? I graduated from Palo Verde. Where did you graduate? Pablo. Okay, cool. I moved to Washington State after I got married in 1973 and raised my 3 sons there with my husband. And I moved back to Sunflower in 2019 My dad is an original owner here on Sandy Mesa Place, and he asked me to come and take care of him and my stepmom, which I did. And he died in 2024, I think. So the home is now mine, and I will live here till I die, maybe. When my first years here in Sunflower, I spent all my time at the swimming pool, getting my feet wet. And then I joined the pool committee, which got it even wetter. And then I decided to be brave and run for the board, which I did. I don't know why, but I did. And I won by default. There was 4 of us running, and there were 4 positions opened. So we all got in. So guys were stuck with me for 2 years, whether you wanted me or not. Let's see. And then I remarried in August of 2024. And so that's why my name is Denny Lindy Sontag. And my husband has been an RVer for 30 years. And I am loving every minute that we can leave this hot desert and go out in the world. That's me. Oh, and when I told my husband I was thinking about this, he laughed for days.
Hi, I'm Burleson Smith, and I am actually a relatively new resident of Sunflower. We've been here about 7 years now, and this would be the first time I'm sort of engaging. I'm still employed, but that's likely to change soon, and looking forward to working with Denny if you do elect me here. Originally from Texas, but I've lived around the country in many different places. Came to Sunflower from the Washington, D.C. area. I've worked in sort of public and government affairs for a number of years, but going back, the area of tech, I remember when PCs first came out, and one of my job responsibilities was trying to help a company integrate those into what we were doing at the time. Have not served on the board, but again, this is, I view as an opportunity to get started in the Sunflower community, and look forward to serving you if you elect me.
Thank you. So we are honored to have Denny and Burleson, who've offered to step up to this position, and it's a package deal. We're going to vote on both of them together. It's two for the price of one. So now I move, now I move that we elect both Denny Lynn Sontag and Burleson Smith as co-presidents for the club. Is there a second? Kay Walter seconds. So all those in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, congratulations. Very good. And by the way, Peggy, I worked at Puebla High School as a counselor for 20 years. Puebla High School. I didn't know you weren't there. No, I left in 2011. But anyway, is there anything else? The other thing that we're hoping to do is to have a speaker committee, because one of the sometimes the most daunting thing is finding speakers on a variety of interesting topics. Is there anyone here who you would like to be on a committee to come up with speakers? Some of that is even asking people that you know here or people that you know outside of here, could you talk about something that you know? So any volunteers for speakers committee? Okay, it'll be in the newsletter. And so whenever you want to contact us to join a committee or you have questions, in the newsletter is our email address for the club, and you can always send that there. So with that, thank you very much for coming. Have a wonderful summer.